Hi guys, welcome to my Xcom 2 modded run. It's modded with Long War 2, Wrath of the Chosen, as well as a few other mods I have as well with it. They all complement each other, so it's all good. And I got this enemies mod where it's got like a lot of enemies, different types too for autopsies and stuff. So new items, weapons, everything else. It's gonna be a good run. So if you want to get updated on whenever I'm going on or whatever, just hit subscribe. It's free, no big deal. I'll keep it on rookie, but I think it takes me to veteran when I do this. Anyways, it's harder. The game's so hard, it doesn't matter really, unless you're on legend or something or whatever. Let's see, Templar. How much will it make in their sentencing that's maxed out at 15 years?
Hires absolutely heartbreaking. It was heart-wrenching to watch these statements. I mean, Madison Baldwin's mom, Nicole, I've never seen a more powerful witness statement in my entire life. I had a daughter who's her age. I'm a single dad. A daughter her age. You're a parent. I mean, when she was talking about it's an honor to be a parent, right? That resonated with me. That was just a home run, Harris. You would probably echo this because we live in a society now where
rock and roll
aren't viewing their children in the way they should. Parents are miracles. We have such an obligation, such a commitment, a discipline to be there for our kids and to hear our kids when they're telling us that they need help. And for Madison's mom to say that, and for her to say that she has a life sentence now, that's just a staggering comment for this judge to have to grapple with. I mean, what she did and what the other did, honestly, Bear's sister, you know what they did, Harris, that was very profound? They described what it was like to go through having a sister or a daughter murdered. And they also described what they were like as human beings. And that's what a good witness impact statement is. They talked about, I heard a sister talking about, oh my gosh, not seeing her be able to walk in the room to order clothes together, to not see her dress up for the holidays. I mean, those are the types of comments that are going to tug at the soul and heart of this judge. So these are having an absolute impact on the judge.
Just quickly, we don't have a lot of time here. Why involuntary manslaughter? That was the question of that first mom, Nicole Beausoleil, Madison Baldwin's mom. Why that?
Yeah, it's involuntary because the parents didn't pull the trigger. They didn't intend to kill these kids. Involuntary manslaughter stems from when somebody is negligent, when somebody is careless, or they're reckless, and then somebody else dies as a result of that recklessness. And that's what happened here. These parents should have done things to rescue Ethan from killing these kids, and that is involuntary manslaughter.
Brian Claypool, it is always great to have you in our repertoire as a legal expert and as a parent. I too have a 17-year-old. That was really hard to watch. And it makes me, your words made me think of what it was like during times when parents are told, and we report on it all the time, that we're not part of our children's conversation. We very much are. And as you hear these family members, be part of your child's conversation. We pray for them. Brian, thank you very much. We'll take a break.
Thank you, Harris.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day. Makeup smearing, drop season. I want another option. That's not another drop. Curvaya, it's not another drop. It's the first and only nasal spray for dry eye. Curvaya treats the signs and symptoms of dry eye disease fast by helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation. Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief. Ask your eye doctor about Curvaya.
We're a society in crisis. But what if we turn our discipline into that? What if CHR is hacks for civility? Civility is, after all, the sweet that takes the bitterness out of classic discipline. At Sharpness, we know people in business are the best in this. So join me in starting long-known civil conversations to shape a better workplace and a better world.
Attention former Marines and family members stationed at Camp Lejeune. If you live or work at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, for at least 30 days from
Damn them aliens, I'm telling you.
1997 and had been diagnosed with cancer, neurobehavioral effects, had a child born with birth defects, or been diagnosed with fertility issues or more, significant compensation may be available. Call Legal Injury Advocates now to discuss your case. It has been proven that the water at Camp Lejeune during those years was extremely contaminated with toxic chemicals. Legal Injury Advocates has extensive experience helping you to get the maximum compensation you deserve. Don't wait until it's too late. See if you qualify today. You're not alone in this fight, and there are no upfront costs to begin your journey to justice. The call is completely free, and we're available 24 hours a day. Call Legal Injury Advocates to discuss your case now. Call 1-800-885-5599 or visit www.lia.legal. That's 1-800-885-5599. Call now. Introducing Allison, black psoriasis. She thinks her flaky gray patches are all people see.
Otezla is the #1 prescribed pill to treat black psoriasis. Otezla can help you get clearer skin and reduce itching and flaking with no routine blood tests required. Doctors have been prescribing Otezla for nearly a decade. Otezla is also approved for rheumatoid arthritis. Otezla is allergic to Otezla can cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. People taking Otezla, depression, suicidal thoughts, or weakness, upper respiratory tract infection, and headache, neck, pain.
With clear skin, Girls' Day Out is a good day out. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Otezla. They're taking powerful prescription and smart insight you'll only get on Outnumber. Weekdays at 12 on Fox News Channel.
Hi, can I take your order?
Okay. Hey, well, this is a question.
What's driving my local extra
Yeah, I don't really decide What? Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. Smoking weed affects reaction time and concentration. A message from Matt Canada.
It's important that we're local.
When you work and you live in the same place, that very much makes it a local feel.
We're able to make meaningful connections with people right here in our community.
It kind of was a joke, but every time I walk in and say it's Corey, then he's like, how'd you go Corey? And then they just let me through.
I really feel good about helping other people. And that's how I was brought up.
Every penny I was making was spent on drugs. When I found out about what the United Way could do, I was sitting inside the medical clinic on the phone, talking to someone saying, I don't lose everything. I got nothing. I might lose 10.
Templar warriors. My followers specialize in wielding psionic
14 years.
mastering the power that belongs to all mortals. Through intense focus, we can twist the very
Breaking news, a big week for the Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. He's been called to show up on Capitol Hill for 2 hearings on his agency's budget tomorrow. And while that is happening, the House will deliver its articles of impeachment against Mayorkas to the Democrat-led Senate. Republicans want him to lose his job. We'll have to see what the Senate does with that very serious decision to make. It's been nearly 2 months since the Republican-controlled House impeached Secretary Mayorkas over his handling of our southern border, Biden's border crisis, and running the agency that allowed nearly 7.5 million illegal immigrants to enter under the Biden administration. While Mayorkas faces impeachment, will it all just go away? Of course not. Majority Leader Chuck Schumer will decide what happens in the Senate. Senate Republicans say, well, all of it is unacceptable.
This is perhaps the most dangerous act you could inflict upon them. To say that we're not going to hear the evidence? And we're not going to vote as senators because we're afraid of a news cycle. Disgracefully this week, we'll witness a complete political charade that undermines this chamber's responsibilities and the oath we swore to protect this great nation. Skirting justice, accountability, the very fabric of our democracy.
They think it's a brave new world. And they want to set a dangerous new risk. They are summoning spirits they won't be able to control.
This isn't just an ordinary act of sweeping it under the rug. This isn't just some invisible Casper the Friendly Ghost coming in to get rid of it. They're actively doing it, and they're doing it under the full view of the American people. It would give future Senate carte blanche to dispense with serious charges against our nation's most senior officials. What goes around comes around.
Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri wants that trial. First, senior congressional correspondent Chad Perkins before we start with the Senator chat.
Harris, good morning. We could learn more about the plans of Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer today. He meets with Democrats over lunch and speaks with reporters afterwards. The House marches the impeachment articles across the rotunda to the Senate around 5 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Marjorie Taylor Greene serves as one of the House prosecutors. She will present the House's case to the Senate.
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on. We are fighting this.
No, I reclaim my time. You're a liar. You are letting this go on. The numbers prove it. You can't lie about the facts, Secretary Mayorkas. While you live in denial and sit over there with this attitude that you're doing everything right, you are killing Americans with your policies. And that is a fact.
The Senate swears in senators as jurors Thursday. That's when Schumer could try to snuff out the trial with a motion to dismiss. Since Schumer is majority leader, he gets to make motions ahead of Republicans who want to force votes and extend the trial. Democrats say blink, and you might miss something.
I think it'll be done quickly. I've talked to some Republicans who candidly told me they don't take it very seriously. I'm not sure how Chuck's going to approach it. He's got 2 or 3 procedural opportunities.
The Democrats can only truncate the trial if they stick together. It's about the math. Democrats only have 51 votes, and at least one Democrat, John Tester, he's skeptical of a quick dismissal. Harris?
Thank you very much, Senator Hawley. We will come to you if we can. But right now, Jennifer Crumley, who is on trial, one of the parents making history today, convicted in a U.S. mass school shooting that her son carried out. Let's listen.
True.
The answer is true because my son did seem so normal. I didn't have a reason to do anything different. This was not something I foresaw. That was the intention of my answer and how I interpreted the question. With the benefit of hindsight and the information I have now, my answer would be drastically different. If I even thought my son was capable of crimes like these, things would have absolutely been different. Even worse, when I learned during the police investigation that he had been planning a school shooting before November 30th. He was not the son I woke up. So he was not the son I knew when I woke up on November 30th. The Ethan I knew was a good, quiet kid. He loved his pets, family vacations. My husband and I used to say we had the perfect kid. I truly believe that. And that's who I saw and thought I knew. As the details started emerging during discovery, I was horrified to learn the certain behaviors my son was reported doing at school. Refusing to take a makeup test. He told us he felt. Sleeping in class. Drawing pictures of guns on his assignments. Writing, quote, my family is a mistake. Watching a video in class of a mass shooting that fatal day. Along with internal communications that took place between his teachers and counselor, Mr. Hopkins. That he is, quote, on my radar, and, quote, he seems to be having a rough time, was never disclosed to us, his parents. The school claimed this was not abnormal behavior because of the pandemic and Oxford being a, quote, dumb community. To say I was curious to learn this information is an understatement. This is not normal behavior to us and very different than what each of us believe was happening at school. Not only were you left in the dark about previous concerning behavior,
Double time.
Got it. I'm all over it. Affirmative.
Damage covered.
it was suggested that him
Advent forces on the
to
ground.
take him home that day. But that was discussed as the best course of action we would have obliged. The prosecution keeps saying we didn't give them the big picture that morning in the counsel's office. But what they failed to acknowledge is the bigger picture the school did not give us. I'm not the same person I was prior to November 30th, 2021. This tragedy has changed who I am. Has taught me some very valuable lessons. It's sad and suffering began with them. I've also made God. In the 5 hours myself, I prayed to Him about the deep impact this tragedy has had on the families and the endless pain no one should ever have to feel. For as God will be to understand their pain. I've also learned to depend on Him for peace and strength. Alone I'm not strong enough. I've learned that we cannot tell or predict what will happen to us in this life. One day you wake up and everything can change. We can, however, decide what happens in us, how we take it, what we do with it. And that's what really matters in the end. That's the test of living, is how we take the unimaginable, the tragedies, the real hardships, and make them a thing of work and beauty. I've also learned to never think this could not happen to you. And stereotype that bad kids come from bad parents. The prosecution has tried to mold us into the type of parents society wants to believe are so horrible, only a school or mass shooter could be bred from. This is a very common assumption to have. We were good parents. We were the average family. We weren't perfect, but we loved our son and each other tremendously. Everything we strive for was to make sure our son had the best life we could give him. To grow up with traditions and experiences we had, to be the best person he could be. I know we did our best. The love I have for our son makes me regret for not seeing what was ahead weighs heavily on me. My point is, this could be any parent up here in my shoes. Ethan could be your child, could be your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, your brother, your sister. Your child can make a fatal decision, not just with a gun, but a knife, a vehicle, intentionally or unintentionally. If there's anything the general public can take away from this, is that this could happen to you too. The tragedy has taught me the true meaning of unconditional love as I watch my parents still love and care for me wholeheartedly, no matter what has happened. If there's nothing else I can do right in life, I do still love my son unconditionally, and perhaps that is my purpose. Your Honor, I don't envy the decision you have to make today. I understand this is a novel case, and punishment expectations are high, not just from the prosecution, but from all those affected as well. The heartbreaking journey these families have endured. I back up. I missed support. The most valuable piece of wisdom I gained was the power of forgiveness. To forgive the prosecution for the slander and hate against me and my husband. Ms. McDonald, Mr. Keys, I have hated you with deep anger, but hate is too heavy to the cross to carry. I need to be set free of that burden and recognize that you are people just like me, imperfect, but a child of God. I know He wants good things to happen to you, and in any conflict, whatever the circumstances, He is there working both sides. To the victims and the families. I stand today not to ask for your forgiveness, as I know it may be beyond reach, but to express my sincerest apologies for the pain that has been caused. I don't envy you in the decision you have to make today. I understand the punishment expectations are high from all sides. This heartbreaking journey families have endured is more than anyone should have to bear and acknowledge their soul death. My time confinement has been filled with deep remorse, regret, and grief over this tragedy. I have taken this one day at a time, trying to survive, navigate, and cope. With the endless heartache, pain, and grief I feel for the families of Hannah, Justin, Madison, and Tate. I have also lost myself over my son's wrongdoing. I've been shredded by the public opinion, shamed as a horrible parent, shamed as a terrible person. But the worst I will carry is my own self-judgment, remorse, and deep regret. I've been criticized that I don't show emotion, I'm unsympathetic, I don't cry enough, but alone I grieve. And if you were to look into me internally, you'd find I cry on the inside. I will be in my own internal prison for the rest of my life. God, I ask to take consideration that I have been locked in a cell 23 hours a day, essentially in solitary confinement, for over 28 months, and that the court finds a fair and just sentence.
That's true, thank you. Robert, I pointed out in my son's this was an open case. Walking, when we walk to the others, there are holders for every single case. And there's also no limit on the amount of sadness, grief, and horrific emotions that are goes across the board in this case. And when Mrs. Crumbly does express remorse, when she expresses sadness, there's a tendency, and there has been a tendency for people to say she's shifting from sadness to the victims and putting it on herself. She's saying that there's an abundance of sadness, there's enough sadness to go around for all of the victims, for Mrs. Crumbly, for everyone involved in this case. It's not surprising that the victims have come in and obviously want the maximum sentence. There has been a narrative throughout this case that they believe is true. And this court knows that there is other information that was not in front of this case. And I believe this court knows the defense was hugely sense-struck, and I think the court was pained at times. They didn't know what to do. I'm talking about not being able to call the medical professionals, not being able to call the shooters to the stand, not being able to cross-examine on various pieces of evidence. Right, all of those are obviously issues, but there are really...
We just heard from Jennifer Crumley, and you're expected to hear James Crumley any moment from now. Sentencing hearing in Michigan for the parents of Oxford high school shooter Ethan Crumley. He shot and killed four of his classmates back in November of 2021. We have heard from sisters, mothers, fathers, tearful, chilling, horrifying accounts of that day and the life sentence that they have endured each and every day since then. His parents, James and Jennifer Crumley, are the first parents to be convicted in the U.S. for a school shooting. Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Keely McEnany here with my co-host, Harris Faulkner. Also joining us, Fox News contributor and president of American Experiential Prizes, Tammy Bruce, Fox Business correspondent, Jerry Willis, and former Wisconsin congressman and co-host of The Bottom Line on Fox Business, Sean Duffy. One of the victims in the Oxford shooting was 17-year-old Madison Baldwin. And in one of the most emotional, heartbreaking victim impact statements I have ever heard, we heard just how, in fact, losing Madison has impacted every moment of her life since that chilling day in November was watched.
While your son was hearing voices and asking for help, I was helping Madison pick out her senior classes. While you were purchasing a gun for your son and leaving it unlocked, I was helping her finish her college essays. While you dropped him off at school, upset that he was failing class, I texted Madison, drive safe, it's slick outside, have a good day.
when he left without hesitation and not taking him home. I was worried she'd be okay driving in the first snowfall of the season, and if she brought a coat. When he walked out of the office with a steady pace after hearing an active shooter, I ran from my home and started driving, trying not to break the law. When you're on the phone for 10 minutes with each other trying to figure out where the gun was, I was on the phone with her father and family trying to figure out where she was.
I think I speak for every parent in America. Your heart breaks when you heard that. I think it's really important for our viewers to understand this unprecedented verdict and some of the evidence at play. So let's take a look at this. These are text messages that were sent by Ethan Crumley. These are key to. Listen to these. I actually asked my dad to take me to the doctor yesterday, and he just gave me some pills and told me to suck it up. It's to the point where I'm asking to go to the doctor. My mom laughed.
Excellent.
That was April 21. Fast forward, you get to this. Ethan Crumley was caught in class, Googling ammo, and his mom's response was not any sort of punishment or deterrence. It was seriously looking up bullets in school. LOL, I'm not mad. You have to learn not to get caught. That was days before the shooting. And then, of course, that meeting, and I want to pull this up to the post. The day of the shooting, this took place. Ask yourself what a reasonable parent would do in this situation. McDonald, that's the prosecutor, said Friday that the parents were called in after a teacher saw disturbing drawings at Crumley's desk. The drawings included a picture of semi-automatic handguns pointed at the words, "The thoughts won't stop, help me," and blood everywhere, along with a picture of someone shot and bleeding. The drawing contained the lines, "My life is useless, the world is dead to me." When the parents, who purchased him a weapon days before, met with their son and a school counselor, they did not inspect his backpack or ask him about the gun, according to the prosecutor. Harris, any reasonable parent in America would say, this guy has a weapon.
So there are a lot of things going on here. So that day, I have questions about the decisions that the parents made when they knew that he had made a start drawing and they knew that he had access to a weapon. And I have questions of the school administrators and teachers who didn't pull him. I know that those sets of people eventually talked to parents and the administrators according to published reports. But how did that even happen that he was moving forward? There were so many adults. I do want to talk just momentarily about what's going on in the courtroom right now. So the defense for Jennifer Crumley, who you see sitting there, who's trying to defend her actions, that's what you do at your sentencing hearing. She's facing 15 years. It was going back and forth with this judge in a way that I have to say, Kaylee, made me scratch my head a bit. And when listening to her talk to this judge, she wanted to know why medical wasn't allowed in. She had a lot of questions for this judge. We are at the sentencing hearing. And those impact statements were impactful, powerful, and I would say worked in the sense of, could this woman and her husband possibly get the max of 15 years? But this attorney is speaking. When James Crumley comes up, we'll cover that live.
Yes, we will. And there's two consistent events that we have heard from, I believe, every single victim impact statement. It was the moment when James Crumley shook his head when the verdict was being read. And then there's a moment that has been referenced. We heard Jennifer Crumley was almost Jennifer Crumley 2.0 today. She expressed some regret. She says she's a different person. But I want to go back to the moment every single victim has mentioned. And this is the moment where she said she has no regrets. Watch.
Of course, I look back after this all happened, and I thought to myself, if I would have done anything differently, and I wouldn't have. I wish she would have killed us instead.
Tammy, she would have done nothing differently. Different Tuesday.
Very much, and she is trying to excuse why that is. Why, that's the time when you're on the stand, when you're thinking about what you really feel, what was your real intentions. That's your chance. And then perhaps she didn't expect to be convicted, but now when she's seeing, of course, the results of this, she's adjusting herself. But we see the history of this family and these parents is clear, and even in her statement to the judge, it was all about her. It was all about the impact on what all of that. She's been, these are two separate juries, citizens there deciding. They've found those parents guilty, two separate trials, and it's been done. she's now got to face that. In any normal situation, you would throw yourself on the mercy of the court because of the nature of what's occurred. That clearly was not her intention or belief. Maybe the psychotherapy will help her. That's what you have to think.
You know, and while this is unprecedented in an involuntary manslaughter charge for a school shooting, it's not unprecedented that parents have been held accountable for a minor's actions. I want to refresh our memories. So the father of the Highland Park shooter, he pled guilty to reckless conduct in a plea deal. The mother of the 6-year-old boy in Virginia who shot his teacher, 21 months in prison. It was also a plea deal. So that's not unprecedented. And something I want to say at the outset, when you don't know the facts, like saying, look, the third party responsible for another person's actions. The prosecutor said, this is a rare case. That beyond a reasonable doubt, it takes the unthinkable. She has done the unthinkable, and because of that, 4 kids have died.
So you look at the facts of this case, Keely, it will make any parent so angry that these parents didn't take action to protect those beautiful young lives that are now lost. Families are devastated. My heart breaks for them. But I also understand there's a bedrock American principle that we don't hold people accountable for the crimes of someone else. Involuntary manslaughter. And I know we can get emotional about it, but if you start to throw away all of the concepts that we hold dear as Americans, whether it's our property rights, we'll have squatters come in and take over someone's home. We're going to disregard bail laws and our criminal justice system. I don't agree with this conviction. I think it's a step too far. And I go, where are we as a country to say, why don't we get beyond the politics of this? Was there drugs that were prescribed, whether it was antidepressants? What socially was going on? Why don't we dig in as a culture to go, what's happening with these young kids that grab guns and start shooting people? That's a problem. Just one last point. Ethan, he was waived into adult court, right? The parents, we're assuming that their child. You can't have an adult in court, but also then hold the parents accountable as if it's a child. It's not the same thing.
You know, Jerry, I imagine if you're on the jury, and the single fact you keep coming back to is you know that your son has access to a weapon, you know he has drugs, and I just want to draw our attention to the screen now. Here's James Crumley. We're going to listen, and this is the father who has been convicted of involuntary manslaughter.
I should pray on that.
Before I address this court directly, I want to do something that I've never been able to do throughout this time until now. I want to say I can't imagine the pain and agony that for the families that have lost their children and what they're experiencing and what they're going through. As a parent, our biggest fear is losing our child or our children. And to lose a child is unimaginable. My heart is really broken for everybody involved. I understand my words are not good for any comfort. I understand that they're not going to relieve any pain. And quite frankly, they probably just don't believe it. However, I really want the families of Madison Baldwin, Hannah St. Julian, Kate Meyer, here, and Justin Schilling to know how truly sorry I am, and how devastated I was when I heard what happened to them. I have cried for you and the loss of your children more times than I can count.
It's going to take some time, though. We've got a lot of ground to cover.
I know your pain and loss will never go away.
But so far, everything seems on the list. We're receiving the position of the Templar HQ.
Part of me will be missing
Don't know much about these Templars.
forever.
It might be worth sticking around here.
But please know that I am truly very sorry. I am sorry for your loss as a result of what my son did. I cannot express how much I wish that I had known what was going on with him or what was going to happen. Because I absolutely would have done a lot of things differently.
Only $10.
Again, my heart pours out to every single one of you.
Okay.
It really does. Jim Matthews, I'm not gonna overdo a lot of things that were already said.
We should keep looking for more recruits, though.
But
We need them to staff the
I know the full amount of pressure that you have on you and the responsibility that has been placed on you throughout this case. I have the utmost respect for you, and I'm simply going to ask that you sentence me in a fair and just way. You presided over my trial and heard the evidence that was presented against me.
Delirium.
You know that what my son did, I was not aware of it, or that he was planning, or that he obtained access
Collection of rebels.
There was absolutely no evidence.
Scientists.
As my attorneys told you,
Let's take a scientist in there. Intel, output the intel, yada yada. Good.
And I've not been able to speak with my wife since December 3rd. I know that I have experienced feels and compassion to what those families who lost their children and countless other victims experience every day because of what my son did. But I want you to know I too grieve for everyone, as I've explained. For everyone that's been infected by what my son pled guilty to doing. And I'll continue to feel this pain for the rest of my life as well. If I could go back and change things, if I could go back and do things differently, and maybe none of us would be here today. So again, I ask Your Honor to impose a just and fair sentence based on the truth about what you heard during my trial. I'm asking the court to sentence me to time served and place me on probation for the maximum time allowed with the GPS tether for as long as the court deems necessary. I also want to address one last thing. And that's to what Tate Pierce's dad said. It is time that we all know the truth. We have been prohibited from telling the whole truth. The whole truth has not been told. And I'm with you, Mr. Mayor. I too want the truth. Because you have not had it. You have not had the truth at all. The truth has not been presented to you. Thank you.
So you've been listening to James Crumley, convicted of 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter for his son, Ethan Crumley, the shooting that left 4 teenagers dead, forever gone. We heard from their parents earlier today. James Crumley saying he had headphones on, as you saw. It's because he is experiencing hearing loss. That's why he saw those headphones. He expressed devastation, remorse. He said, "I have cried for your loss." more times than I can count. I'm truly very sorry for the result of my son's actions. It was remorseful, and we know James Crumley has asked for the time he has spent in jail to be counted against his sentence. We know that his wife has asked to have house arrest, so not to be in jail whatsoever. Now, the prosecutors have said in response to that is, oh, we have some indications that this remorseful testimony might not be so remorseful. For instance, with James Crumley, they pointed to jailhouse phone calls where he has threatened the prosecutor in this case in rather colorful terms. So perhaps actions not matching words so much there, Jerry. What do you make? It was a little bit of a different tone than Jennifer. It seemed to be all about remorse. We didn't hear from James, for example, that he was a good parent.
So contrite here, and I think that he was well coached by his attorneys to make sure that he appeals to this jury now, because his future in the judge's hands, rather. So I think that's smart. Do I believe it? I really don't know, because what happened before this trial, what happened before the killing, seemed to me a catastrophic lack of parenting. I mean, this young man had access to a gun. The parents bought it for him. It was in the home. It was not locked. There was no restrictions on his ability to gain access to it. And then the day of the shooting, it's in his backpack and nobody finds it. So, so many people to point a finger here at: the school, the parents, and I think that this is just, you don't have to be a parent. I'm not a parent, and my heart is breaking over these victim family statements.
And Harris, I think that fact, you go back to the haunting, harrowing fact in all of this, if you were on the jury, is the parents knew he had access to a weapon. They knew he had drawn his intent on that day, a bloody drawing. And in the least as a parent, a reasonable parent would say, look, I know you're saying he should stay in school. I know he has access to a weapon we bought days ago. Maybe let's check this back.
So the key word that you spoke there is reasonable. And I think, to Sean's point earlier, I don't know that we know all the medical in this case with these parents. We were getting a glimpse of what it might have been like in that home. She's completely different than Dad. Completely different. Now, maybe they were on the same scale mental health-wise, but the mom is still in this denial that she played any role. It may not be that she had the skills to give as a parent. It may not be that. As Amy said, maybe she needed the psychotherapy. We don't know. We can't diagnose her from New York, and they're in Michigan, and we're not doctors. But there's so much more to this. If the parent is broken and they're looking at a child and they're broken, how can they fix it? They don't know how. So then the question becomes, well, what was the other parent like in the home? There's so much to this. Now, the prosecution feels like it's gotten to the bottom of everything. But both of these attorneys, if you turn on the mic right now, they're both arguing the whole story from home. I don't think that we ever will. But we do know that a 15-year-old went to school with a gun in his backpack, killed 4 and injured 7. There are a host of lives that will never be the same.
Can I add something very quickly? Those parents, we think, may not have known. We don't know everything that happened in that household, but what we do know is the most telling thing on that drawing, where he said, help me. He knew. And that was a confession and a warning and a literal plea, help me. And it still did not work. So the 15-year-old knew. How much more did he say, help me at home? Well, this is where Lawrence collection of the adults in every environment, the 15-year-old having the youngest victim was 14.
Anna St. Juliana lost her 15-year-old sister. She said, if you get 15 years, the maximum here, your sentence will be shorter than my sister's life. Madison's mom, while you were ignoring Ethan's health problems, I was picking out my daughter's college courses. She'll never get to take those college courses. We're going to be following this trial and awaiting the sentencing. We will bring that to you live when it happens. We're on number next.
So what are you thinking?
Thinking butter honey. How about Africa? Our hot air balloon ride. Swim with elephants. Hey, can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, it takes a little planning. Or put the night go to downtown.
On a ranch.
In Montana.
With horses.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors to chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management. Can peace of mind fit into just free fruits and free veggie supplements? Yes. We start by sourcing the best fruit and vegetable ingredients. We ensure that all our produce meets our rigorous standards in order to give you the highest quality products.
See, these guys, they look good.
Plus, it's put through an advanced vacuum pull process that removes the water using pressure. We then take great care in grinding them into a fine powder. These powdered ingredients are then mixed and encapsulated, locking out air and moisture. The capsules are then bottled and shipped right to your door so you can experience your own personal balance of nature success story.
I've looked at other supplements out there, and they don't have what Balance of Nature has.
Balance of Nature really was the game changer. I'm serious, it works.
It is a great product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be taken.
Get 35% off and $10 off any additional sets as a preferred customer by using discount code Fox News.
Did you hear? A secret hoard of 1893 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1893 gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling the secret U.S. gold coin discovery a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you can own a piece of the hoard. When you call, you are guaranteed an 1893 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. With limited availability, you must call now. These 1893 dated gold coins are still in uncirculated condition.
Still have 2 wounded.
31 years of history you can hold in your hand. Call 1-800-777-9590. Call now and you'll receive a free bonus, a $50 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-777-9590 to secure your 1893 $10 gold Liberty coins before they sell out. Don't wait. You must act fast. Call now.
Are you or a loved one a military veteran that has been diagnosed with mesothelioma? Questions about getting the best treatment or paying medical bills? Have you received the proper care and compensation you deserve? Let our firm serve you with the same dedication you serve your country. We are exclusively devoted to helping those with mesothelioma. Call now to get this free book. We'll answer any question you have. We'll even visit you.
Call 800-555-4026 or go to mesobook.com.
We've got better things to do than clean out clogged gutters. Call eFilter today and never clean out clogged gutters again.
eFilter technology keeps debris out of your gutters for good. Guaranteed. Call 833-FILTER today. Visit eFilter.com.
My hair started thinning in my early 20s. I'm genetically predisposed, so we created Nutrafol. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement. It's never too late to improve your hair health. Get started at Nutrafol.com/man.
In this crazy world, how do you protect and grow your investment portfolio and your retirement fund? The smart investor has their money in a guaranteed product. It goes up with the market, their gains lock in, and when the market goes down, they don't lose money. Forward with their money, never back.
Save it.
And we do it for our clients every day.
And we'll continue next time, right, guys? Stay tuned. It'll be pretty good.
Right now, we have been covering it all morning long. Jennifer and James Crumbley up to fight for more freedom than they'll likely get from this judge.